Welcome to the eCommerce Badassery Podcast, the place for scrappy female entrepreneurs who want to learn actionable steps and strategies to grow the traffic, sales, and profit in your e-commerce business. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster, a 20-year retail veteran who spent 3 years as the only employee of a 7-figure online store. That shit was crazy. I know exactly how it feels to do all the things, and I'm sharing everything I learned the hard way so you don't have to. I may have started this business by accident, but supporting badass bosses like you lights me the fuck up, and I am so stoked to see you grow. Are you ready, babe? Let's roll. Welcome back to the eCommerce Badassery Podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Totillo-Coster. We're taking a break from the holiday planning content to have a serious conversation. Before we get into it, though, if you do still need support with your holiday planning, go to ecommercebadassery.com/holiday podcast for quick access to every holiday planning episode I've ever released. I promise you've pretty much got everything you need at your fingertips there. But sometimes I have to interrupt our regularly scheduled programming to talk to you about important things, like today. Being an e-commerce business owner, any business owner honestly, can be pretty overwhelming at times and lonely. But over the years, I've learned that many of us, myself included, are making things harder than they have to be. Mostly because we're trying to do it all on our own. We're not leaning into the resources or network we have to support us along the way, and it's stunting our growth. Let me illustrate this by sharing the recent scenarios that prompted me to record this episode in the first place. A few weeks ago, a lounge member posted in the group. I'm reading what she wrote. Wow, I have been making my life harder than it needs to be. My email game has been sorely lacking, but I sat down just now, used the training and the email marketing schedule, and have emails weekly planned through the rest of the year. Your shit works when I actually take the time to utilize it. So essentially, she planned 4 months of email in one sitting. All it took was for her to look at the resources she had available to her, in this case, our content training in the lounge, and then sit down and do the work. Another member asked for help because she thought she deleted the purchase parameter in her Google Analytics 4 account. It wasn't showing any conversions. She spent hours Googling and reading all different tutorials about manual coding. She literally lost hours of sleep over it, trying to figure it out on her own. Once she posted in the group, we were able to figure out that she had deleted the Google and YouTube app in Shopify, severing the connection to GA4 in a 4-comment conversation. Another member, who I talked about in last week's episode, she's the one that had never done Q4 in her business before. She's an esthetician, and the majority of her business is in person. She's working on building up that e-com side, but in person is her bread and butter. She is an acne specialist, and there is an acne-safe makeup brand that she always recommends to her clients. So she started thinking about bringing the makeup in to sell it so she could increase her own sales, and wanted to host a color matching event to help her clients get the right product for them. During a conversation with the founder of that makeup brand, she just kind of said in passing, not really asking, just said, "I wish you could come." Well, guess what? The founder said yes, and she's hopping on a plane from Texas to California to work the event. Never did this lounge member think this makeup brand founder would feel it worth her time to come to this event. But because she asked, it became a reality. Now she gets to host a kick-ass event for her clients, she gets to sell new products to increase her product revenue, and she gets the support of a vendor on site to sell the products she made while making her clients feel extra special. That is a win-win all around. We used to do things like this at my previous day job. We'd partner with brands that we sold to come in and do in-store training events for our customers and even virtual ones during the pandemic. I did it when I had my brick and mortar boutique. My vendors, and these were pretty big vendors who had national department store accounts, brands like French Connection and James Jeans. I was a tiny little fish in the scheme of things. But they were happy to hold trunk shows at my store and represent their brand. Some even gave me permission to use their campaign imagery in my marketing and advertising so that I didn't have to invest in my own shoots. One of those ads actually caused a bit of an uproar in the town because the image was kind of sexy and I was using it to promote back to school to come in and buy denim. It got a lot of attention, as did our store, but no such thing as bad press, right? But the thing is, I had to ask these vendors to do this. These lounge members had to take the time to ask me a question or dive into the resources. I see it happen on a day-to-day basis in the lounge too. Members can ask questions anytime in the community and they'll get an answer from me or Nicole within 24 business hours, usually less. But I noticed people weren't really taking advantage of that. So I created a recurring weekly post called Thirsty Thursday, on brand always. And what do you know? Every week without fail, there are a ton of questions on that post. But they weren't posting them separately in the community when they initially came up. So why don't we just use the resources that we have? Likely because we don't want to be a bother. So we push it off to another day or figure Google has the answer. I love Google University as much as the next girl. It has treated me well over the years. But I also think taking to that search bar has become a reflex for us, no matter the question. But why waste so much of your precious time, the one thing you can't generate more of, when there is probably someone in your existing network who can support you? And I get it, it can be scary to ask for help. Sometimes it's actually more comfortable to just stay stuck. Sometimes people are going to tell you to Google that shit if your question is a very simple how-to tech thing versus something strategy related. But in many cases, it's really not worth it to go it alone in the long run. I can promise you that. And as I say about most things, those people you're afraid to reach out to, they're afraid too. Someone has to go first. Let that someone be you. As we move into Q4 and beyond, here are some ways that you can bring your network together to get a little extra support. Create a group Voxer chat with your biz friends so you can lean on each other throughout the season. And if you don't know, Voxer is a walkie-talkie app. It doesn't have that same 1 minute max as Instagram voice notes does, so it's really nice. You can schedule weekly video check-ins so you can review each other's marketing content. Or you can do like Nicole and I do when we just need to vent, have virtual margarita date. There are so many ways you can lean on your fellow e-commerce business friends. It's bound to have a positive effect on your success and your overall mental well-being. If you don't have a network, find one. Come join the lounge. You get access to me, our resident ad strategist, Nicole, and other e-commerce business owners. If you're listening to this in real time, joining now means you'll be able to participate in our quarterly planning workshop at the end of the month. On Monday, we brainstorm your high-level strategy. Each day during the week, we post prompts to remind you what you should be finalizing. And then on Friday, we meet again to review your plans and provide feedback. This is definitely a favorite among the group. Getting support could be as simple as listening to a podcast episode from the archives that walks you through a particular strategy. Again, go to ecommercebadassery.com/holiday podcast to get a curated set of episodes for Q4. Listen to the episode, follow the strategy I outline. I outline strategies on these episodes literally step by step. It's almost like being in the room with me. So you can just follow it exactly as I lay it out and implement it into your business. Ultimately, where you get the support doesn't matter as much as getting it. The one caveat is just make sure it's from people who understand your unique product-based business. So if you have something that you're struggling with right now as you're listening to this, if you're a lounge member that has a question, your first step when this episode is over is to reach out and ask for help. Don't put it off. Do it right now. Business is challenging, yes, but it does not have to be hard. We are the ones making it hard. And you know I'm talking to myself when I say this, right? Don't sacrifice enjoying your life, getting sleep, hanging out with your family, doing the holidays, or any time of year, because you wasted too much damn time trying to figure something out on your own that somebody else could have helped you with. I promise it'll be worth it in the end. And on that note, I'm out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope this gave you the little kick in the pants that you needed to just get out of your own way and ask for the help you need. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, week, all the things, and I'll see you on the flip side, friend. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you like what you heard, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're looking to surround yourself with more product entrepreneurs who totally get your life right now, get your booty on over to the eCommerce Badassery Facebook group. Can't wait to see you there. Until next time, e-commerce friends, stay badass.